That's always a good thing. I like when things work together. Hmm. So I know you notice you guys have noticed that we are slowly sauntering. We are slowly moving into the land of Bethany. We're slowly assuming our last moments with these characters. We left them in a bit of a pickle, but only because of social considerations. To be perfectly honest and point blank, matter of fact, just plain out and out frank, the characters were in a very strong position. The characters were right on the apex of their moment because it is their moment. They have managed in a very short ellipses of time to do the relative impossible. They have managed in a blink of an eye, as far as such things go, to reach the height of success. They have done what hundreds of thousands of millions of individuals, not just here in Louisiana, not just here in Shreveport, not just here south of the Mason-Dixon, west of the Mississippi, not just in the continental United States. They have done what millions around the world dream of, if not nightly, very close to it. In the matter of moments, they've changed their stars. There is enough value, enough financial lucre sitting on this table to change family lines, generations of generations. But unfortunately for them, it is not the end of the line. It is not the final goal. The goal is not to simply obtain wealth. The goal was not to simply become instantaneously, independently wealthy. They had ulterior motives for their actions. This is just the delivery system of that. And so before we put on the warm, well-known glove of these characters over our imaginations, before we dive in to the frigid frozen bottom of their world, is there, are there, which questions, suggestions, hypotheses, and corners would you like to round off?
Um, uh, my compulsion to be an ass, is it still going?
We're talking about the game, right? But
Yeah.
Uh,
once you've met that term, it's like cooking. There's no set time for you to reach the safe temp. Once you reach it, you've reached it.
Oh, I see.
But while that view is still a little there, it's hard not to cheer. Let's be perfectly honest. A victory is a victory. A win is a win. And right now it's hard looking at the vast, immeasurable amount of wealth sitting on this table. Earmarked for you. Earmarked for whatever you decide to push it towards. It is hard to not see that as a victory. It's not quite impossible, but it's so close it might as well be. And without the driving base beat of your beast demanding its pound of flesh, either and physically as well as emotionally, the reality of what's sitting on the table
Yeah.
We can
Yeah,
leave.
I'm feeling good.
No, we can't.
I definitely
And then
think
there's-
India has read the room.
Then there's the other shoe.
Yeah.
There's the thin thread, the filament holding the sword over your head, and realizing that it is in fact a great sword. Because Harson, though we don't know him so intimately, so we shouldn't use his forename, Imogen Abagnale. His high cheekboned, raven haired, beard itself with eyes as dead as every graveyard from Cape Cod to Sacramento and back is the opposite side of the table. There's a reality to looking into someone's face. There are certain markers that they carry, and we intuit it based on our own perception and our own lives, but there are certain realities. You know certain things looking at a person's face, at a living being's face, let alone a dead thing like a kindred. Years of depression leaves its mark in our skin. Years of anger leaves carved track marks of emotional inebriation across our forehead at the corners of our eyes. Years of pleasurable excess leaves its mark around our midsections and our arms. Years of hard manual labor willing to do leaves stains across every one of our digits. So looking at someone's face, you can see, you can intuit, you have an understanding of what sort of life that person has had. Whether they are the typical American, the typical European, the typical African, the typical Asian, you can look in their face and gauge what sort of life that person had. And as Imogen Abagnale rolls up his sleeves, as Imogen Abagnale settles into the position of dealer at this table and fixes you with a look, Joji, you know instantaneously that this is the sort of person that for the right amount of shekels, for the right amount of bolivars, for the right amount of pesos, euros, marks, no life matters. Not a life, no life. There's a value, a check and balance inside that being's existence. And in the debits and the things that would keep them from vacating the existence of another being, that column is almost empty. That line, that threshold is literally on the ground. You'd probably have to dig to slip underneath it. So as he says, are we ready to play? There's an understanding as to what's at stake and roughly what it matters to him. But all of that setting, all of that thought, is solely the build-up, the exaggeration of a fact. And that fact is, I am in your debts, each and every one of you, for being here, for giving us the opportunity of play, for engaging, exploring, and indulging in this hobby together. Without a shadow of a doubt, for those in the back who didn't get it the first time or the second, this is Lost Wages and Second Chances. Tonight's episode is entitled The Witch of Dreams, Lost in the Reality of the Unknown. For the record, to decide and illuminate where we are. The air inside of the casino was heavy. Sense that you hadn't picked up initially, small things. The mellowed whiskey, peaty moss, the bland and almost neutral vodkas, the scent of liquor, mixing and mingling with haute couture and manufactured desperation. The hum of excitement blending with the steady, almost too quiet rhythm of classical jazz. Dixieland, of course, New Orleans inspired. And beneath the flickering of electronic flames of the golden chandeliers above your head, you all hover, sit, lean against, and are otherwise ensconced at this table. And as we've stated, on this table is enough lucre to change the course of some families' history. And by some family, there's several 100,000 families that could be affected. There's several thousand families that could enter into a completely different echelon of existence. There's several states that would be raised out of their indigent poverty with what's on this table. And the only thing between you exiting with what's on this table and doing what you will is the fact that opposite it, standing in the seat, position of service and authority, standing as the dealer, as a fresh shoe, a 5-deck shoe is brought to the table. Imogen Abagnale is blue silk tie immaculately in place. Unlike the previous dealers who knew that their jobs, perhaps their lives, perhaps their families' lives were on the line when they lost the casino so very much all too quickly, there's no sense of stress, signs of fear. There are none of the usual, easily detectable responses to the stress of seeing so much money presumably going to hit circulation. There's no stress of job or family or continued existence on his face. So as he lightly waits for the shoe to be installed and be verified.
India very carefully leans into Joji, putting her hand on his bicep. Joji, baby, I think we need to go have a drink and call it quits. This table's sitting a little bit too hot. You know what I mean?
I'm sorry, what? And he kind of leans up. Wait, pull out. Why pull out? We're doing so good.
Because he's playing for fucking keeps. I see it in his eyes. He has lost far too much money to us in the moment and wants to get it and more back. So what we want is to keep control of this situation, and giving him what he wants will not keep control of this situation.
I mean, but it kind of just like it does that like nervous movements of his hands just tapping on the table. Yeah. Fine. You know better than me anyways.
So India will reach out and grab the chips or whatever physical representation of them winning is. No thank you, sir. We're gonna find something else fun to play.
As Joji dejectedly gets up out of his chair, or moves to, as this scene plays out.
Well, now, that is not entirely expected. Even someone from someplace so small as your perfume assigns would know that it's bad form. But as you will, you'll need to take your winnings to the cage so that we can write a check for your earnings. Of course, everything is above board and legal.
Yeah, I'll see you over there. He's just kind of just starts waddling off with this whatever the fuck is in his hands now.
Don't,
Huh?
don't look so sad and dejected. Not everyone has the bravery necessary to play at these stakes.
Ah! Looks back to India.
Come on, Joji. Come on. Cash out, and then we
Yes.
can start
Yes.
new.
That is far wiser. After all, not every person has the bravery necessary to continue. Getting lucky is to be expected. It happens for everyone. There's no shame in accepting your shortcomings.
Perhaps we could meet later and discuss investment opportunities if you're amenable.
No, unfortunately, I have a standard of association. I typically avoid associating with cowards.
Oh my god, fuck you, Nobu. You're pressing the red button.
I guess we'll have to take our money elsewhere then. Thanks.
You're very
Sure.
welcome. I wish you all the luck you deserve.
We'll have to take their money elsewhere. It's more like it. Seeing as how we're
Oh,
walking
no.
in with so much of it.
Once you cash that out properly, that is your money. That is your taxable income. And I'm sure that it won't be too much of a burden.
Hey, India. Just one look. I don't think it would be too bad. He just kind of talking to her. At the very least, he seems pretty pissed with us, and we want to have a good conversation with him and not an angry conversation with him.
I look at Annabelle because I know Annabelle and Lita understand where I'm coming from and understand the trap that Joji keeps trying to walk into.
Joji,
What? I'm getting two people. What?
what you have there is leverage.
Uh.
Over a lot of things in the world.
I mean, I'm aware of that. It's just I don't.
At all, you can't rebuild. And that's what's going to happen.
I've always been a fan of Kipling. If you can risk it all on one game of pitch and toss, and you're truly a man.
Well, Balthar. He calls from the table as he begins dealing the next hand. I had hoped that I'd have the enjoyable opportunity of playing against someone valiant and brave, upstanding. The dealers had spoken so highly of the mysterious and clearly randomly lucky individual at this table. So, ladies and gentlemen, forgive me, but let's raise the stakes so that those brave few amongst you might have the opportunity of having luck fall into your lap as it did our most recent player and begin stealing.
I take Joji's shoulder
Why?
and walk away.
I'm not a coward. Why did he call me a fucking coward? Guys, come on. It's surely not that bad.
Are you going to let someone else define who you are?
No, it's
What have
not
we
that.
talked
It's
about? What have we talked about?
I yeah, but he's calling me a coward.
Your self-worth, your bravery is not dependent on what other people say.
As you all are 15, 20, maybe 30 feet away from the table, you hear people cheering as more individuals are betting, as it's a hot table and they're playing. And they're unlike most of the other refined and well-moneyed individuals around the room are actually enjoying themselves. And as you, Joji, glance back at the table, a gentleman, much like yourself, clearly from somewhere where money is a factor, is being feted and cheered and appreciated. See, let's run. Cheers himself on. Table, giving him a couple of attaboys and clapping his back. Normally, in the grand game of seduction and coming on to another person randomly on the street, there's a test that is utilized to determine one's own wealth and value in their estimation, in their esteem. It's the look back test. You know, you move a few feet further down the line and give a subtle or secretive look back. And if they're looking after you, you know that you matter. You know that you have made an impression. As you glance back at the table, you realize that no one, including Imogen McNeil, is looking after you all.
Bro, I almost feel like I just straight up take a willpower damage out of this. I feel like this legitimately hurts me. And Joji's just kind of like being dragged along like the puppy being pulled from the fucking play area. He's just like, the things I do. Turns back around and looks away from it.
India, again, is in his ear, because she realizes how hard this is for him. Joji, sweetheart, what's going to happen next will make you the winner in all this. We go cash out. We secure the bag. And then we make things a lot hotter in here.
Wait, okay, I'm sorry. I'm getting hotter in you're I know we said later, but not like now later. I mean, I'm down for it if you are, but is it really the right time?
I mean, we got a couple bottles, you know. We can make do what it do.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh god, I'm so sorry. He just looks away, refuses to make eye contact. Oh, you're talking about that. Okay, alright.
Technically, just out of character, technically our mission was to stop this casino from funding things, right?
I believe so, yeah. The overall objective was to neuter this place. And we were going to approach it like the AO. If we can make a deal with this guy, that's one thing. And we won't have to do stupid things. But it's looking like he's not really down to talk and more like just spiffy with us over it.
Yeah, my impression is that he will only talk to us if we play, and the only thing that happens is if we play is we lose. Which will then negate everything we've done.
Well, you guys have the money. There is such a thing called taking the money and running. You all could leave this place with enough money to set yourselves up anywhere in the world almost. Some places better than others. After all, if and when you make it to the cashier's cage and they copy down your ID, set you up with a tax account for your vast winnings, and all of that red tape. You could literally have it sent almost anywhere in the world. You could be almost anywhere in the world beyond the reach of Mirrory, beyond the reach of Shreveport, beyond the reach of Bethany. You could set yourselves up someplace well and exit all of the drama and trauma of Bethany. You have enough money at your disposal right this second to escape it all.
Yeah. With that realization, he just keeps thinking about Vegas, and that's where my sire is at. I already had a lot of fun gambling. And so, like, as they're walking along, he's just in the process of convincing himself not to just dip out of town, and reminding himself of all the reasons why that's just not a good idea. And beyond reminding, he's attempting to fabricate a few reasons because he's got things to do here. He shouldn't just dive out like that.
That's a good viewpoint because would you be so kind as to go ahead and roll your resolve plus composure to keep that looking out the back door from being easily readable in your associates, because you are the person that is holding the value. It's you who were at the table. It is unfortunately weighing almost as heavily as that non-look from Primogen Abagnale as you moved away from the table. You could take yourself or you could take your coterie and disappear. So, ladies and germs, gentlemen and gals, all states in between, looking at Joji as you all are talking him off the ledge of going back and letting it ride. Oh, and the scale of confidence that he's there with you, and the scale of knowing for sure he's got your back. You're solidly sure that 66% of the time he's there 100% of the time.
Oh boy.
Yeah, he looks very troubled at this point. Well,
You do realize they're not gonna let us keep this, right? He can
why
say
not?
he's
I
gonna
mean,
let us keep it, but the process to keep the money would put all of our business out on Front Street.
What?
You do know
mean-
how you get your money off of one of these things, right?
No, this is
IDs.
my first time gambling.
You have to give your IDs. You have to give your information so they can set up an account for you, because they don't just give you the money when it's this much money. They transfer it to you after taxes are taken care of.
I've got. He pulls out his ID for Henry Altman. I've got everything set up.
How set up?
Pretty good setup. Like, unless the FBI decides to take a specific interest in me, I'm fine.
They might. I don't think he's gonna be real happy about this.
I mean, I'm gonna be optimistic here. That's not just because the weight of these chips in my hand is cathartic, but I like to believe that there are some people in this world that follow the rules.
How long
David
have you been alive?
That. And when has a Ventrue ever followed the fucking rules?
Well, you see, they write the rules, so if they want to do something that's not in the rules or specifically against the rules, they just change the rules.
And you hear yourself right now, right?
Yeah. No, I'm fully aware of it. I can both be delusional and completely clear on what's happening around me at the same time. It's a skill.
You are very good at that one. I have to admit.
All
I
right.
have a weird question. How mad would you think he would be if we just started tipping motherfuckers off that card and giving all the money back, not to him, but to his workers?
Uh, I don't really think he would be, to be honest.
I
Yeah.
mean, it goes back to the house.
Yeah.
If we are given the money back, we better get something out of it.
I'm like pretty sure that these employees aren't even allowed to cash these things in.
And our goal isn't to piss the guy off. I mean, we did, but it's not the goal.
Fine, let's go cash out and do the other thing we planned.
Awesome. Okay. Where's the stall, the booth, the machine for this?
The cage.
Oh,
Therein lies the Lady and the Tiger decision. Jojo, you are fantabulously sure that with your level of expertise of your documentation, you are positive that this portion will be above board. That this portion will go smoothly. Because after all, short of the Federal Bureau of Investigation, short of a detailed search and a verification of who you are, everything should be fine. And as you stand there in line at the cage, the four of you, there's a unsettling realization. Who has an academics of at least 2?
Oh, I might. Hold on.
I do.
I do.
No. Good. You know what that means. You've had the opportunity and the understanding as to which governmental department was the first special service, the first, and still is, the deadliest federal agency to cross, to come into the understanding of.
Fucking IRS.
Yes, and their lesser, smaller, meaner brother, the Federal Game Mission, falls under the IRS. The moment you cash this into a Henry Altman, you have officially put yourself as an ant underneath a microscope. You have effectively put yourself smack dab in the center of some huge, angry toddler's magnifying glass on the brightest, hottest day of the summer.
Can I do anything with my finance here to help?
In the moment, let's see, shall we? Mizo kind of go ahead and roll your wits plus finance as high as you can.
All right. Let's see. Plus finance. +1. Hunger. I'm at 1. Difficulty.
High as you can.
Okay, didn't like that +1.
What's the most we can cash out without triggering oversight?
Me just look at my sheet for a second and figure out what I'm rolling. think that's Martha's. Let's see. Okay, so that's 4. Not an awesome roll.
Don't forget you get +1 from Miri.
Yep. Oh, wait. Under 2. Also because of Mary.
As long as you don't break the threshold of $10,000 for the month, you should be fine. As long as you don't have an earnings of $10,000, you should be fine. And for the record, you all passed $10,000 roughly about 40 minutes ago.
Now we're into like a billion or some ridiculous.
Some amount. Some indistinguishable, terrible amount.
For those of you with an intelligence of 3 or higher, just doing the simple, generalized, finite math of cashing out by paying every staff member that you have seen and believe this hotel may have access to, you would still clear notice of the IRS several times over.
More than, say, 1, 2, 3, 4 times over? Yes, more than 4 times over.
That's why he was making it a point to say, once we cash out, it is our money.
Very legally. All right. Why don't we each cash out? Well, here's the thing. Putting the money back means not necessarily, like, there's no guarantee we'll be able to achieve our goal another way. But also, being super duper invested
Comes from the table.
What?
Somebody shouting in joy. Look, are we gonna cash it out, or can I go back and play cards?
Well, if you cash it out, I could help you set up like a charity you could donate it all to, and you'd still control it.
I mean, but like, wouldn't the IRS still have issues with us over that?
Different issues. I mean, you could get somebody with more legal skills than me to help set it up as some kind of shell company thing to kind of launder it.
Okay, hear me out. We take these chips and we go through a fucking mirror somewhere else.
We can't cash them out somewhere else.
That's not what we need to do. Well, actually, no. The money doesn't leave unless they actually pay it out. So I guess we do. I take it back.
I think this is turning into far too complicated of a situation. The thing is, it feels like there's something else going on. He wasn't all that concerned about the fact that we practically cleaned a small country out. Where is all the money coming from? Where is all the money going? Something else feels like it's going on. Because anybody who should have lost that much money should have had some sort of concern over it, and obviously he didn't. He feels like
Or he
he
just has an
screwed his
extra
thumb.
sober face.
A little bit of A, a little bit of B, because I still feel like he doesn't care what he thinks we're going to do.
Well, we know who he is trying to finance with it, or who we don't want to be financed with it.
Who has politics of 2 or 3?
3.
Excellent. Would you guys go ahead and roll your wits plus politics?
India isn't politics, she's muscle and cute.
Let me check my wits plus politics. Or, sorry, specifically my politics. I do have a politics of 2. Can I roll?
Yes.
Heck yeah.
Hold on, I don't remember how much willpower I still have.
Roll.
Risk it for a biscuit.
Current.
I got 3. That's a clean success.
Character. Joji. Comment. Plus 1 success. I believe, well, let me see. Let me look at my last roll. So it says I have 1 hunger, so I should technically have 2 hunger because of Mirrori's thing, right?
Jawohl.
Alright. Okay, 7 successes.
Damn, son.
All right, so that being the case, we will start with what Annabelle grasped of the situation with India's insistence that there's something else is going on here. It is quite obvious that this is a funneling operation for the Tremere. There is no doubt in your mind that the money that you all have access to right now was earmarked for their coffers or for their use. You're not really striking at the Ventrue, Shreveport. You're not really striking at the Primogen. And while this is his domain and while this is under his purview, him not being immediately incensed about the value, well, the red flags are flagging. The alarms are buzzing at the back of your head. There's something that is just there on the tip of your tongue that won't make it across your teeth. And Joji, there is a curse to knowledge. There's an understanding that is very seldomly spoken of, but the more you know and understand, the worse the world looks. There was a point up until very recently where it was an accepted understanding that a happy person was mentally deficient. There was something psychologically wrong with them. And there's a point now repopularizing itself that states the standard default 0 setting of the human condition as a negative outlook. It's growing by the moment, growing by the day. More and more psychologists and psychotherapists take that as the standard. And for you to move into that positive, that accepting viewpoint, you don't have to detract, you don't have to obliterate, you don't have to destroy those negative inclinations. You have to reframe them so that they are not as negative. Unfortunately for you, that doesn't work. You see everything. You're like everyone else, like every other person with eyes, ears, nose, and all of the senses operating. You take in all of that information. Whereas everyone else's mind slows it down, replays it, mutes certain colors and certain thoughts and certain sounds and certain things. It slows it down or it completely blurs so that it doesn't overwhelm. The same can't be said for you. You take it all in. You see it in Ultra HD. You see it in 8K. And you see it in slow motion from various angles all at once. India mentioning something isn't right. You begin to pick out those persons on this floor in this elite level of the casino who are not dressed as well, who are not staff, who are not regulars for this space. You take in the fact that, much like Annabelle, the connection between this casino and the Tremere is clear. You can see the symbols now in the decor. You can see the symbols now in the carpet beneath your feet. You can see their influence. You don't understand those mystical sigils, but you know that they're there. And much like Coleman's place, which is a member and operating partner for the blood trade, which is a member and operating partner for the circulatory system, you realize that this place, the true value of this place isn't just in the money, which is being funneled to and through the Tremere, because the prince is in fact a Tremere, one of the old school Tremere, one of those loyal, upstanding members of the pyramid. This whole operation is a front in the worst sort of way. You are sitting in the middle of tasting salon. Those who lose too much lose their money and their finances. You're sure as you are of anything else that they're offered deals, a discount, a way to repay through. Well, first we want to make sure that you're healthy enough. Let's do a little small physical, because there are going to be certain tasks and jobs that you are, and part of that physical, of course, is a blood sample, several blood samples, several genetic tests, several jobs that take them away from their family for weeks or months on end, sometimes forever. Tragic, graphic accident as they're states away. The family receiving an insurance policy payment that they didn't realize that the partner who disappeared had. You see it clearly. The prince is an old school Tremere who has access to and utilization of what?
I see.
Blood.
The circulatory system. Blood magic. He do the gargoyle thing. Yeah. Oh, fuck. Okay, no, we need to burn this place down.
That's what I've been saying.
No, that was not in character. I did not just fucking shout that out to the world, by the way.
Are you sure about
I
that?
get that.
I lean over to India. Hey, yeah, no, so fuck the money. We do need to burn this place down.
That's what I've been saying.
Okay.
You sure you don't money?
No.
It's money.
I mean, you can go turn this in if you want. You've already got a shit ton of money. I'm pretty sure the IRS doesn't give a fuck about you.
You think that?
Or do you not, have things set up properly?
I'm pretty young. I'm still able to pass for not
That's normal.
in certain circumstances, yes.
Okay, but, is your money on the books?
Yeah. I mean, my money's reasonably legit. I make most of it through stock trading.
Okay, cool. Then yeah. You handle it, because, if a random John just comes out of here with a small country's GDP, it'd be one thing. But if a rich lady... I mean, technically, I did use your money to win this anyway, so...
That's true. You can have it back, plus some, while we go do what we gotta do.
Yeah.
Okay.
India, what's up, Nobu?
As you guys have been discussing and moving with the line, you're in front of the cage. You're literally in front of the cashier at this point. How can we help you?
Hi, she'll be catching up.
Oh, I see. And your card?
I'm afraid... Oh, I do have my gold card.
Oh, you're a Gold Card member. Oh, don't worry about it. We'll just forward this onto your account now. Oh, wow. I see. All right. If you all would hold 1 minute, please.
India is
And then she
watching this
gets up
person.
and steps away. She gets up and steps away from the cage. She moves to the back of the little enclosed space. Now, normally when you envision a cage, it's those bars and a little small window. But no, the cage here, because they're expecting a certain behavior, minimum. It's relatively wide open. It is effectively a desk with drawers underneath where there's either checks to be printed or few small denominations, under a couple of thousand in each drawer. So when she gets away from the desk, away from the window, the cage where all of this happens, she moves across the back space, and it's about 25 feet to the back wall. On that back wall, there are clocks of the different time zones here locally and nationally, as well as the different time zones around the world. Underneath those clocks are a bank, a literal row of phones fixed to the wall. It looks like a rainbow. It's perfectly interesting because you have the red, you have the green, you have the blue, you have the yellow, you have the violet. It looks like a rainbow, and the little small space behind the phones are painted so that it blends into the rainbow. But she moves back to the phone. She lifts it up and turns so her back is mostly to you all. And you see her head bobbing up and down as she's talking. Then she pauses and looks over her shoulder towards you all. And there's a nervous smile as she waves and holds up one finger, letting you know there's not much longer. As she turns back to the phone, she bobs her head again, takes in a breath, and hangs up the phone.
She doesn't seem nervous at all.
No, not at all. Hey, India, do you think maybe, this is a problem? Should we just step away and get to work, or?
You got a problem, Miss Lady?
No, not at all. Be right with ya. I just had to verify a few things. There's a certain protocol after a threshold of value is achieved. First off, let me thank you all for your patronage and congratulations on your winnings. Let's see here. Alrighty. It seems as if your bank account isn't connected with this particular card. Which is fine. It happens. Alrighty, and she settles back into her seat. Well, here's what we'll do. There are several things that I need to do on my end for the value that you've all been so very lucky. And again, congratulations. And we have several options in front of us. We have several options, several easy options. We make it as easy as possible. That way, if you wanted to leave tonight, you can go ahead and leave tonight with your earnings. However, it will take a few moments. Of course, you're welcome to partake of the bar here, but we do have a lovely members only, which your value that you've won automatically grants you. It's a relatively exclusive bar. I'm not sure if it's to your standards, but it is one of the best in all of Shreveport. We normally host foreign dignitaries at that particular bar. It would be where I would suggest for you all to wait. As with the value that you're receiving, even as just a check, you would need security.
Fair enough. I think my companions might return to the room, but I'll go have a glass of wine.
Oh, you all are together. It's not just one person winning.
No, the winnings are hers. We're just the entourage.
Oh, I see. Well, it is a once-in-a-lifetime experience. you all should go to the bar. But if you'd like to go to your rooms and security can escort you back here once we're done processing, you can decide whether you would prefer a check, direct deposit, and the direct deposit is a electronic bank transfer. We can just port it into whichever bank you'd like, of course. There are several options. It's just going to take a few moments to process. Now, while you wait, I don't want to oversell it, so forgive me. But no, the room is perfectly fine. You'll be in your room, all of you all.
I
I
imagine that.
mean, if you want us to join you in your room,
What? No, stop. That's not. You're getting mixed signals. Wrong signals.
I mean, if you want to invite yourself up, that's a lot of fun.
Wait,
How much
what?
do they pay you around here?
Oh, I'm well taken care of, ma'am. I am extraordinarily well taken care of.
Why are we flirting with the cage lady?
I lean into Joji. They're trying to get us all together so they can make us fucking disappear.
I mean, I knew that. I was just wondering why we were flirting with the cage lady.
You ain't never heard of a hostage before?
No. Wait. Oh. Oh. Wait. Okay. I mean, you do whatever. Yeah. Yeah. No. So, I'm pretty sure that me and my companion here will be heading off to the room, but if, and he looks over to Annabelle, you'd like to keep Miss Cambridge company?
sure.
Miss Cambridge? Oh. Is that a
Yes.
middle name?
It is not. My
We'll just slip on out as they're talking.
Yeah, I'm staying.
Excellent. I'll just if you'll follow these gentlemen, they'll escort you to the exclusive bar.
all right then.
Once she says if you'll wait for these gentlemen, you realize that as Joji and India leave, they're being shadowed by hotel casino security, being escorted to the room from a distance.
Yeah. A comfortably controlling distance.
Just keeping you safe.
Yes. Safety is important.
Pretend to be just a little bit drunk. Leaning on Joji, kind of laughing. How nice of them to provide us with hors d'oeuvres.
Wait, order. Oh yeah, no. How nice. Haha. Kind of looks back nervously at the security guards, gives them a little wave, then turns back to the walking. Do you think they'd follow me into the bathroom?
Sorry, sir. No, we wouldn't.
What? No, I'm not offering for you to come into the bathroom with me. I was just worried that you guys were like, the up your ass kind of security.
No, sorry, sir. That's platinum level.
Oh, okay, cool.
Wait. Oh, I guess you're not platinum. Just light it.
Yeah. Well, I guess make yourselves comfortably in whatever way you need to.
Oh no, we're quite comfortable. We're here for your safety.
Cool.
We've had several issues with grand prize winners disappearing or other untoward things happening. We want to make sure that the reputation for the casino and hotel is maintained.
Honestly, the better way to maintain that is to not tell anybody that you've had a bunch of your winners go missing. Honestly, that's like bad PR.
So is their
It grants
intention?
us a small bit of esteem,
Is their intention to follow us all
a
the way?
reputation, if you will.
into the room or stop at the elevator?
You'd have to ask them because they're with you.
Hey, Champ, are you coming into the room or are you just waiting at the elevator? Because I'm like 90% sure that there's not anybody except for us in our room.
Yes, but we'd have to verify that just to make sure. It is unfortunately policy. We're here for your protection.
India is going to make them highly uncomfortable by leaning into one and kind of running her hands down the front of his suit. I mean, if you want to stay and watch, just say that.
I would enjoy that very much, ma'am.
The face of Joji is a conflicted mess, but suffice to say, he's just like, alrighty then, show on the road.
We unfortunately can't take part, but visual verification of your physical safety during any moments of duress is under our purview.
This elevator can't get here soon enough.
If you would like assistance in moving furniture, perhaps turning down the bed. The suite you're in is fully functional. There are, of course, manacles and accessories that you might use. We ensure that they're properly sanitized between visits.
He just thunk as he's beginning to lightly tap his head on the wall, waiting for the elevator.
Do either of you possess any allergies that we should know? There was a gentleman and his paramour who both, unfortunately for them, had a anaphylactic reaction to a particular form of latex.
Baby, I'm healthier than a horse. If you ain't...
Stop
Completely
digging
understandable.
The hole. Just stop digging the hole.
Yes, ma'am. You do appear such. Are either of you experiencing any moments of accelerated biological reactions? Normally, winners, such as yourselves, are usually quite primed for an overreaction.
I'm reacting, alright.
And your heart rate, your pulse,
Shoo.
is it elevated?
Yeah, technically it is elevated from my baseline.
Very good. The moment that we arrive in your suite, you both should take 1 dram of alcohol of your choice. It lowers the heart rate. It acts as a sedative, a depressant. It will help for your performance later.
Oh, I'm going to definitely be drinking.
It's a good thing. We unfortunately, much like the bulk of Louisiana, do not allow illegal narcotics. However, there are certain other above-the-counter narcotics that you might be able to take with your dram of alcohol that would help assist in performance issues that may arise.
Oh, great. Yeah, that was a major concern for me. Thank you.
You're very welcome. And while that conversation is going on and they're waiting for the elevator, you all are escorted, Annabelle, you and Leader are escorted to a shuttle. It is absolutely uncalled for, the level of excess for your particular elevator. The security officers who get on the elevator with you all, keeping their distance and tapping the one button that's inside. Normally there's open, close, the various floors, and all manner of buttons. The closed door button doesn't really usually work. It's all timed. But it gives the illusion of that. You don't even have the illusion of that inside that particular shuttle. There's one button on the inside. Security officer presses it. And just like the magic elevator, you are suddenly where you need to be. And as they step out before you, verifying that the foyer that you are waiting in is empty, they motion you towards two old school saloon doors. It's the very much Western 1/4 of the door size swinging number. Inside, past those doors, you can see a darkened luxury bar. The soft, subtle sounds of John Coltrane wafting at the perfect level that you can hold a conversation and yet still hear the music. The lights dim so that even standing here, the space takes on an intimate feel. And then there's the fact that the windows have been tinted what few you can see from where you stand, and you can watch the rest of the world out there in the night. You are literally on top of the casino. You are literally smack dab in the middle at the top of the casino. You can see the entirety of the world around you, because you're sure that those windows go completely around the bar. Question is, do you all move into that space?
Well, I suppose so. Nowhere else to really go?
There's always somewhere to go.
We will actually order a bottle of wine.
So you move into the space, and you move towards the bar, and there is one singular person behind the bar. The rest of the space is dark and reds and golds and dim lights, and the music is playing. So you are focused on the bar and getting your bottle of wine, which is perfectly. They offer you a champagne list. They offer you a wine list. The bartender waits for you to make your decision. And as you're looking over the list, a relatively extensive list of rare vintages. There's a clearing of a throat. Very masculine sound. The
I turn and look.
You all have not been as close to the prince as some others. But being as close as you are, there's an intelligence that sits there in those bright, almost midnight blue eyes. It's a little old-fashioned. The wide double Windsor knot of his tie, the width of his collar, the fact that he's wearing an actual three-piece suit with tie-tack cufflinks, and at the left collar of his shirt is a service pin of some sort. On the right lapel of his jacket is another different service pin. It is normally expected that when you enter into another's domain, you greet them directly. But I understand that you all have had the opportunity of winning, coming into a windfall. So for the record, allow me to offer my congratulations to you and yours. And how are you finding the hospitality of my haven.
It is truly a wonderful and unique place, my friends.
That does me well to hear. Sit. Let's enjoy your winnings together, shall we?
That's
As you all settle in at the relatively romantically lit table with Prince Smith Johnson, you realize that in those shadows around you, you realize that out there in the night on the balcony, you realize something that should have been apparent for those who could see between the lines, those who could read the tea leaves. This place wasn't worried about winning because there's no way, no how to beat the house when the prince is in presence. You all sit directly across from Prince Smith Johnson. It is 31 after the hour. Let's take a quick 10 and be back here when bells are.
Alrighty.
Yes. So in preparation of Lita and Hannibal preparing to jump the prince, let's start with a round of a way to properly get them in the mood. So as you all sit there at the table, the back of your head, the back of your mind, you see a lone blonde Viking prince standing in the rain, his broad back being lashed by a downpour that is the symbol of the gods themselves looking on in wonder. And though he was on his deathbed seconds before now, he stands unclothed in armor, no shield at hand, his family's sword in hand, his loyal and trustworthy dog there at his ankles, and before him, in all of that sloshy, wet, near apocalyptic level of precipitation, there rushes towards him and you an army so massive it nearly blots out the landscape. And as you all prepare to say your goodbyes internally, because with an army that vast, there's no force on this world or the next that might stand in their path. And yet there stands that blonde Viking prince who seconds before was dying. And you hear him raise his voice. Lo, there do I see my father. Lo, there do I see my mother, and my sisters, and my brothers. Lo, there do I see the line of my people back to the beginning. And the music begins to swell, and you know what the outcome is. You know that at the end of it all, some Valkyrie will carry you on to your just desserts. Or something like that.
Yeah, so anyways, who wants to be the next villain of the Braveheart film? They won in the end, you know.
That's fine and good, but don't you understand? It's more Highland.
Yeah, no. I'm so glad I'm not there. We have our own conundrum to deal with.
Not quite. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. Everybody back?
India have been thinking.
Alright. See, I wasn't really looking at the screen. Sorry about that. What do we got going? What did I miss? Anything good?
No,
Yeah.
just us being like, what the fuck? We have no idea what to do.
Yeah, apparently the prince showing up was a real fucking curveball for them.
Well, it's been hinted at. There was a power, a system in place. And, you know, if the Tremere are trying to kill you or arrange a coup d'etat, what better place to lay low or be easily accessible save in the arms and bosom of Ventru security.
Oh yeah, because Ventru are always well protected. Just ask the protagonist of the Bloodlines games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, LaCroix was an idiot, but all the same, when we last stepped away, Annabelle and Lita has settled into a lovely, intimate table with the prince and not N, A, the elite club here at the casino. It is them, the prince, the bartender, and the two security officers who are standing by the elevator. The ambiance is a little bit final boss chic, lots of reds, warm yellows and golds, lots of rich Corinthian leather, and mood lighting so dark that the shadows themselves seem to have weight to them. Dense enough and deep enough that you could probably hide a platoon of special operations officers.
You
The
think?
windows highlighting the world around you. You can see all of, well, the river and Balsier City on the other side. If you go to the other side of the space, moving through the shadows to the windows themselves, you can probably see much of Shreveport as well. Out there on the western end of the building. And Smith Johnson and those midnight blue eyes sitting there taking you all in. So, again, allow me to congratulate you on your victories. If I'd known you all were gold members, I would have arranged a more personal greeting. Normally, we only come here to celebrate. What is it that you all are celebrating?
Life, or some facsimile of it. It's been, a harrowing little bit for us, and we finally had a break. Thought we'd enjoy it.
That's a good thing. And have you partaken of any of the amenities here?
A little. I made a call to your surgeon, and they brought me a bag of blood that was wonderful.
Oh, so you did not partake of the services. Well, to each their own. We all have a different understanding as to what quality might be. But otherwise, what is it that you think of the hospitality thus far? Does it meet your qualifications as elite? Is it too much? Is it too little? Would you prefer more? And doctor, you're relatively shy. Is there something that is holding your tongue?
I'm honored to be in your presence, my prince. It's a rare thing.
It is. And what brings you both from Bethany?
We have acquaintances here. We visit them occasionally.
That is a shame. This is the first time I'm hearing of it. Which acquaintances are yours?
I actually do have acquaintances here because I have some status. So who's some people I might know?
Yeah, I don't want to say my sire.
Oh, independent mute is a thing. What's your status, Annabelle?
Annibal the cannibal.
It is one in Shreveport.
Oh, so you could know of or be known by, because it just means that right. It just means that you're recognized. So which primogen, which kindred that you are aware of, you can mention either of them, all of them, or none of them.
I don't know. Like, as a player, my brain is like off.
Don't worry, don't worry.
Completely understandable. Off happens far more than it should these days. We are
Just randomly
programmed to be always on.
Yeah, I had a headache all day.
I mean, just as a, we did run into Masha. Masha, we did in fact talk to, as far as I'm aware. I think we also walked past, at the very least, Celine, the Malkavian primogen. And then of course there. No, but have we met Carson?
You just did.
Oh yeah. Sorry, Carson was out there on the floor. God, every time I hear the word Carson, I just think Carson Daly. Well, anyways, that's the extent of my help in this. Good luck, and may the odds ever be in your favor.
Thanks.
Didn't she die?
I mean, not for a while.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, so we did actually meet Masha, right?
Yeah, in the mosque.
Okay. And that was on an official mission of diplomacy.
Yes.
Okay.
Delivering the traitor to the security of Shreveport. One of the many things that most cities, most epicenters, and there's several. You have LA, you've got Seattle, you got New York, certain places in New Jersey, you got Miami, you've got the Secret Coast, you've got Houston and Dallas and Paradise and Eden. Each of those cities, much like the feudal ideologies of kindred society, have their border states that act as a buffer to keep ne'er-do-wells unwanted from reaching the hearth and hearth of the city prime. Bethany is such a place for Shreveport. It serves a vital defense function for the city and a vital information and surveillance aspect for the city's safety. So while you all are, looked down on because you labor for a city that's not yours, you all hold the keys to the kingdom. Because there's no way safe to get close to Shreveport without passing through Bethany. And while it's usually done at a good clip, Bethanites have gotten very good at spotting strangers and vehicles that don't belong and passing word along, and sometimes arranging a little stop with the local police and sheriff's department from either Coterie or the parish. And you all serve that function. So it's not that Shreveport doesn't know that you exist, but part of them ensuring that they have the respect that they believe they deserve. Make sure you all realize that if they are Broadway, you are off Broadway. If they are Hollywood, then you are Tubi. If they are a set of encyclopedias, you are Scholastic Magazine, the little weekly pamphlet that is produced for primary school children.
Lovely.
And while that's the standard of most things, most engagements, that has not been what has been tonight. You all have received the king's treatment. You all had the opportunity of standing face to face with one of the primogens. You all have had the opportunity and are indulging in the opportunity of sitting in a private conversation with the prince. And not a prince, but the prince. Tremere princes in the tower are few and far between. Tremere princes in the tower are like meeting your least favorite rock star. Someone talented enough to deserve your respect and your acclaim, but they're not quite frequently seen enough for you to really get into their music, their back catalog, their deep cuts. So yeah, it's still great, it's still live music, and it's still a band that's worthy of your attention, but it's not quite, not your Green Day, it's not your Rolling Stones, it's not your Nickelback, it's your Toadies, it's your Violent Femmes, it's your Megadeth instead of Metallica or Primus, it's your White Pony instead of anyone. It's your 21 Savage. I loved you from the day that I first met you, and you'd much rather have Al Green. So, ladies, normally, winners of your acclaim are usually feted here by me, and some of their magic, because that's what it is. While it is all statistical probability at these games of chance, there is some ineffable quality that is bestowed upon the winners of such large value. And that magic is enjoyed typically by me. So, allow me to ask, who was actually playing?
I was providing the steaks for my friend Joji.
Ooh. And he did not wish to partake of the services and hospitality here?
No, he wanted to retire to our rooms and possibly make some time with his lady friend.
Excellent. And with that,
He, of course, didn't realize you would be here.
no. Seldom is a surprise worth much of its value if it is known broadly.
Of course.
Would you all happen to have his number? I understand that you Bethanites are a little lax in regards to your technological devices.
I think we could call it the room, certainly.
Excellent. Let's do that. And speaking of calling the room, you all arrive at your lodging. Security guard in tow. Opening your door, checking the rooms. Supposing you all are as safe as you can be, we'll leave you to it. Then they leave, leaving Joji and India in their lodgings alone.
So very cool.
Oh, thank God!
So what do you think? What do you want to guess that the others have either been kidnapped and are being tortured, or something else? Less.
I'm sure they'll be fine. I'm sure they'll be fine. Dr. Hafiz, despite being a psychiatrist, is very quirky. So I'm half tempted to believe that she'll enjoy being tortured.
Okay. Let's get to what we need to do now that those two other idiots are gone.
Yeah. I'm gonna set everything up in the, Alright. And he just kind of heads off towards the bathroom of this, gathering what supplies he needs. Just holler for me. I'll turn the shower on. Holler for me if anybody needs, whatever. And yeah. I guess he'll go and start constructing what he needs to construct.
Yeah, start setting up very carefully. Start setting up the means of destruction. India is going to take a bottle or two of something from the bar. It's not like 90 proof or nothing like or moonshine, but fairly high alcohol content. And start dancing around the room with the top off. Not her top, the top of the alcohol.
What? Oh, no, that's not what I was swimming over, I swear.
Right. Likely story. Why is Joji in the shower?
Well, so that I can turn on the shower. It's a somewhat private area. Like if they're gonna have cameras and yada yada yada, it's less likely that it's going to be in the bathroom. And also, if I have the shower on and there's the noise of that, it can cover some of what I'm doing. And I can soak myself basically, and walk out if anybody shows up, so that they don't question what I was doing in that room all by myself.
Forensic countermeasures.
See, so Joji strips down bare or to the waist.
Oh no, I am buck naked while I am Heisenberging.
I see. Okay, let's do this. Would you still guys go ahead and roll your in this particular case, just go ahead and roll your resolve plus craft for me, please, as high as you can. And while that is happening, India, you are attempting to stage a very wide spill of alcohol across the rug, the tiles, and make sure that you stage it in a way that's easily believable that you're just a sloppy, sloshy, happy-go-lucky hospitaler who is going to save the world tomorrow. In other words, you're high off your mind, the sort of high that only doctors can get to, and making it seem as if it was an accidental party that took place here instead of a purposeful attempt to stage arson.
Pretty much. And then she kind of like, as she's dancing past the bathroom, she sees Joji. You got a point there, baby doll. Maybe I should get out of this stress because I can't really run in this fucking thing.
I need less distractions, not more!
And to achieve that, India, as you're speaking with Joji, would you be so kind as to go ahead and roll your manipulation and craft? because you are crafting a scene. You're making it easy and plausible for others to believe that you all were not, in fact, the reason. You can see the headlines forming now. Shreveport's major tourist attraction. Shreveport's oldest casino, most modern and most luxurious, up in flames. You can hear the public outcry, those who watch their dreams go up like a puff of smoke.
Uh-oh.
When in doubt, douse it. Soak it to the bone. When in doubt, why take chances with a few sprinkles when a quarter of a bottle will do? When in doubt, more is always better. At least that's the understanding. At least that's the viewpoint that India has had in staging, literally ensuring that there's alcohol covering nearly 99.99% of the floor and the walls, and make sure that it gets everywhere so that once ignited, this room is literally a death trap. There's no making it to the elevator because every few centimeters of distance is swimming uphill through a river of lava. That's the goal. It all needs to fucking go. It'd be hard to even lean in the direction of accident. This was clearly a purposeful attempt to make sure that this fucker, once lit, will go off like a Roman candle. Walls of flame. And while India is no firebug, she doesn't have the wish and want to watch the world burn. Part of her takes solitude knowing that once this is ignited, yeah, there's no one inside would survive. And then there's Joji. One should not have the skill necessary to become the Michelangelo of domestic terrorism. One should not have the wherewithal of virtually reinventing the wheel. You have managed to, through being the Heisenberg of violence, crafted a device that is so easy a caveman could do it. It is so simplistic in its ignition that it would be easier to light it by accident than to mislight it. Once it goes, it is going to go. The mortality rate on the device that Joji manages to cobble together is 100+%. Being within range of when it goes off is a surefire, automatic death sentence. Part of him realizes that as close as he's sitting right now, he is in the immolation zone. Not the burning, not the screaming, not the cordite scent drifting across the breeze. No, he's in the immolation zone. The moment this device goes off, anyone is as close as he is to it, they were all but vaporized in heat and flame. God forbid if you had an accelerant to cause that effective area of absolute instantaneous death to spread, to be larger, to be more encompassing. You know what it's like to create death. And that's what this device does. It creates instantaneous, no second chances Yeah. You need 2 minutes to arrange a fuse, i.e., to give you time enough, or whoever actually bothers to ignite it, time enough to escape. You can light it, you can ignite it like right now, or you can trick someone into igniting it right now, but it's instantaneous. Go. There's no light it and then run. No, it's when you ignite it, that's it. You need 2 more minutes.
Okay.
20 seconds.
And I'm betting around that time's when the fucking phone goes ding 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 ding.
No, the elevator dings.
Uh-oh.
And Prince Smith Johnson, Annabelle, and Lita step off the elevator to find India covered in a glistening sheen of splattered alcoholic vintages. The floor is soaked in various shades of high alcohol content wine and vodka and cognac that cost more per ounce than gold.
Oh no.
What the hell? You were supposed to wait till we got back to throw the party. What's even going on?
All right, Judy, I got carried away,
How
as it were.
are you?
Kind of blows the prince and goes, "Hey there, sugar."
Miss Love, is there something I should know? And as he asks, he adjusts his cufflinks. And you would not believe it if you weren't there to hear it. It sounds like raw diamonds grinding against themselves. You know how angry some drivers get apoplectic and grind their teeth and their whole countenance changes shades and hue? It sounds like stone on stone, lava rocks grinding and melding one to the next. And you would not believe it if you didn't see it. 1,500 pounds of stone-like flesh that sounds twice as heavy lands on your balcony.
Oh shit.
And then another 1,500 as the gargoyles who are part of his protection detail. Not the others he has out there in the night keeping watch and scouting the land. And no, those who were at the top of the casino in the shadows around you drop down and soar and swoop and glide, landing on your balcony.
Yeah, Joji hasn't been signaled or anything, so he's just in the bathroom, just smooth operator.
After Annabelle shows up with the prince, Joji baby, we got princely company.
Okay, I'll be out in a moment. Shower turns off, and yeah, he'll just arrive in a timely way.
You need 46 seconds.
Just a moment. Let me get dressed.
46 seconds. A lifetime. And more when the prince and his gargoyle entourage are in your suite.
Great.
As the seconds tick by, one of the gargoyled attendants begins opening the doors. 43, 42,
Um,
40.
Ugh.
And he's moving through the suite, opening doors as the typical Secret Service and executive protectors would to assure that anyone and everyone here on this floor, in this space, in the presence of the prince is accounted for.
Okay. So this
Nine,
is where one
38.
of the features I have comes into play. Can I activate Rush Job?
You can, as the door opens and the gargoyle is standing there. You were
Oh,
at 30. You were at 38. And you can do half the time, which means you needed an additional 19 seconds when the door opens.
okay. What does the gargoyle walk into? What does he see?
Well, as you're still working and you're hearing the doors open, you're still working.
Okay.
So you're hunched over your device, the sounds of the shower having ended. You know that the seconds are piling up faster than rush hour traffic, and you're sure that you have just a few seconds more. You're almost perfect. You are snapping things into place, and the door opens.
There's no way any of us could offer him any help or distraction.
yeah, I was actually about to try and distract the prince, but it probably wouldn't have helped the gargoyle.
Yeah, it's the gargoyles are doing room checks. As he comes in, can I toss a towel over it and then just turn?
Like
or
you
is
would have heard you, so you would have heard him approach. He's a big fucking stone thing.
Oh, I imagine the idea that Nobu's going with here is I was frantically trying to in those last couple seconds try and get it done.
Yeah.
So like that's just the only thing that I could theoretically do in this situation is just toss a towel over it and then approach said door. But that's what I'm wondering is like by the time that this comes about, is motherfucker sticking his head in? Do I have the time to like just quickly obscure it, or is this like roll initiative type shit right now?
Well, as the Mortal Kombat music begins playing, would you be so kind as to go ahead and roll your dexterity, and being as you are already using rush job and you've already cut the time down, let's just go ahead and roll dexterity and celerity for you to toss, cover, and otherwise obfuscate poorly, just so that you can't tell exactly what it is that you were doing.
Oh god, this is not that good. Technically at 3 hunger right now.
Would there be something India could do to distract them right now? By, like, maybe not directly threatening the prince, but making it so that they have to pay attention to her rather than Joji?
You can start a fight.
She will do, like, I mean, if it'll help him, I will. Like, she will throw the fucking bottle at the ground.
Oh god.
Let me try something before we get that drastic. Is that a gargoyle?
Yes. I'm so glad of you to notice.
Aren't
So we have things. So we have things happening. Everyone's attempting. Well, most people are attempting to distract the prince, distract the gargoyle. Joji is frantically trying to wrap things up. Would you, in order, because we're gonna leave it on a mechanical resolution until it's resolved. Annabelle, you mentioned that you're trying to distract the prince. Would you be so kind as to go ahead and roll your charisma plus persuasion? And as you're not starting an actual fight, you will receive a one die bonus. But go ahead and roll your strength plus subterfuge. Lita, you're attempting to, I'm taking it, try to distract them with academic intellectual curiosity. So would you be so kind as to go ahead and roll your charisma plus occult as you attempt to probe and act fangirly in regards to the presence of the gargoyles, an illegal, highly unseen factor of old blood sorcery. All of you will roll as high as you possibly can, and we will contest shortly.
Wow, guys.
Oh, okay, never mind. There it is.
Oh, thanks. I'm rolling like crap today.
Just so you guys know, this may very well end up with y'all having to, like, Stargate fucking jump into a mirror while I detonate the bomb. Just don't.
Where's my plan right now?
Sorry about that.
You're good. I just want you to know, Nobu, I actually have turned on the OG fucking Mortal Kombat music because of you.
Right, so. Ooh, loaded. You all are. Alright, so. Either. We're going to do it all at once.
Yes, that's 4 technical successes from Lita and India, and then 8 from. Sorry, Lita and Annabelle, and 8 from India. I don't know what that just average out to 4 or 5.
22 divided by 4. Right. Do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do. All right, knocking on heaven door. Let's see what happened. What does fate say?
Oh, the fate says go fuck yourself. Yep.
God damn. Fate, why you gotta do me like this?
He only beat us by 1 though.
That is true.
Yeah.
I mean, it is one of those, like, is what it is scenarios.
So, as is always the case, in the most trying and fraught moments of our existence, the world slows to a crawl. Our mind tries to protect us from what it is that we see happening, what we hear happening, what we smell and taste and oftentimes touch happening around us. Our mind slows and tries to blur out the edges. Our senses, heightened because of our stress, begin to take in more data. It jumbling up as the mind this is too much for them to handle. We will give them nightmares weeks, days, years later about this. But for right now, they don't need to realize how bad things actually are. We need more adrenaline. This is what the mind does. Always seeking to protect the machine that is our body and our lives. Unfortunately, injured or dead, their minds protect themselves in different manners. It wasn't me, it was the one-armed beast that's inside of us that did it. So you all see it happening in graphic, dramatic, hyper-realistic clarity as the gargoyles are checking the doors and perimeters, expanding their search. You see it as the prince takes in the highly combustible fluid all over the floor. And putting 1 and 1 together to get 11. The questions tossed off, the attempt to barrage him with distractions, adding up in his mind. He realizes this is a coup attempt. You all are attempting to. And as he's backing away, adjusting his cufflinks and touching the pin of office on his lapel, the heat wafting off of him grows. And part of your understanding of the situation, India begins screaming, fuck no, fuck no, fuck no, fuck no, fuck no. Lita, you've never been close enough to a Tremere or a Thin Blood or any of those who have had the ability to approximate the elements. So seeing his hands begin to warm, a subtle light begin to emanate from them. You don't stop fangirling because you've never seen such effects of the blood begin to take hold. And Annabelle, you're not quite sure what the fuck all that gobbledygook is, but the mirrors begin to shimmer and wave as if there's a pond and a stone has been tossed into them. And Joji, the impending footfall of the gargoyles drawing closer and closer causes you to speed up, and you grab the towel and you fling it through the air, but unfortunately you're moving faster than time and gravity seem to want to allow. You forget that you are faster than gravity in some moments, such as this. So as the towel floats like a butterfly on a summer day, the door opens, gargoyle looking from your machine to you. It's 28 after the hour. I want to thank you all for a lovely episode.
Oh God.
Oh, no.
Oh, this is the. Oh.
Oh man, I wasn't paying enough attention.
The
Was
bomb's
the bomb
ready.
ready?
It just I didn't have enough time to set up a fucking delay on its boomba.